single, they're saved, and they're sexy. Somebody was asking me, but that last word of sexy. I said, what's wrong with your problem? You think these words are diabolical, they're devilish, but there you are. And this evening, we want to talk about a bunch of people that we feel sorry for, and many of you are out there, and you are dating people in your heads. This is how it happens. You think that you are in a relationship with somebody, but they are totally clueless for one reason or another. They see you as their friend, but for as far as you are concerned, you are in this thing, and when you're telling people out there, I don't know, she's my girlfriend or my boyfriend. And yet this person is totally clueless. And that happens for many a person, yeah? Could it be that you actually misconstrued the other person's moves? They treat you like they are your girlfriend or your boyfriend, and yet for them they think, I'm just being a friend. But many a guy suffer this, especially now, this being the guy's show. I know ladies suffer that too, but let's try and understand how this gets to happen and how we can avoid it, especially because look, tomorrow you'll see this Jama being introduced, or this lady being introduced in church with somebody else, and you're thinking, right, these Watoto people, they are evil, I don't know what, and stuff like that. And yet probably you just had these things in your head. All right, my guest this evening, Pastor James Lalobo. How do you pronounce that name? Pastor James Lalobo, all the way from these guys same. They come from the land of the wise.
The eastern direction, that's right.
The eastern direction, yes, from Watoto Church East. Good evening, Musumba.
It's actually Watoto Church Boyogerere.
Look at me. Love is confusing me. Do not blame me. Watoto Church Boyogerere it is now.
That is it.
How are you today?
I'm very good, thanks. Very, very good. Ain't complaining.
You ain't complaining?
Nope.
Clearly, I see your wedding band. Muchala is fine?
Totally. 3 wonderful, awesome, I call them my high voltage sons.
I see them there. They are too active. They pull down things and
everything. They're inventors, they are discoverers, and you can mention but a few.
Yeah. Look at their father. But good to have you here. Good to have you here. Andrew should be joining us in a bit.
Yeah.
So, but you've been married how long now?
I will be making 9 years in May.
9 years? What, you married at 15 or what? You're a young, chic, easy guy, or why you just feed well?
When you get married young, it kind of keeps you young all the rest of your life. So, yeah.
So you're now throwing salvos at me?
Not really. Swap is good, but...
It's good to cross over as well. And many of my friends have crossed over. Some are still crossing over. And people are usually like, Joel, what's wrong with you? And I tell them, look, you see, God made nice, wonderful ladies, and He put them in every corner of the world. Then He made the world round. So each time I'm about to meet, the world rotates.
But
since you're praying real hard for me, you've been married 9 years.
9 years, yes.
Tell me about it. I know this might be digressionary, but people might want to know. They want to be sure. This man here is speaking with authority about these things. 9 years.
What do you want to know?
I don't know. If you were to sum it up in a sentence, what has this 9 years been like for you?
That's an interesting. It's a very interesting. It's been both sweet and sour.
Oh, like sweet and sour pork.
Something like that. But the overall has been sweet. Yeah. The sour times have come. The tough times, what we really mean, they've been tough times. I think for me, the tough times have come, and I have chosen and deliberately chosen to learn from my tough times.
I see.
Yeah. Now and actually, it's interesting. During the tough times, when I actually tell my wife more often than not, I actually love you more.
Hey.
During the tough times.
Okay.
Because then it's tested. I'm tested, and I realize, no, I made a commitment to you, and I'm going to love you even in this tough time. So, yeah.
Incredible. There you are. Let's build this up this way. How did you meet your wife? Now that some people are out there, they think they are in relationships, and clearly they are not. We'll seek to try and break this down, and it's like some cryptic puzzle of sorts. We'll decipher it. But how did you meet Deborah, is it?
Yeah, Deborah. You have to say it right.
Come again?
You have to say it right. Not Deborah.
Not Deborah? My sister is Deborah, by the way, but we call her Debbie.
Yeah,
It's Deborah?
Yeah, Deborah. It depends where you went to nursery school, but it's Deborah.
Musumba is abusing me on my show. Well, we call this
Deborah
Debbie. But,
how did I meet my wife? Well, through Cell at the university.
Through sale. So for those of you who are not in sale, you're lost.
Yeah, just that when you go with the intent of that, you may not find.
Certainly.
Through Cell. And we were in the same Essex vacation fellowship. And then we went to do same what do they call it? Same university, Chambogo University, and I actually first saw her at Chambogo University. I didn't even know that we were in the same fellowship, but my friend knew her. So it was one of his days. We were walking down, and before I even knew, I'm like, man, this baby is hot. I was like,
you were smitten.
I'm telling you, it's like, well, she's a radical. I'm like, what? So
plus.
Said hi, and that was it. And many years down the road, I was a leader, she was a leader, same cycle. And after university, we finished in May, and in August, I asked her to get married to me.
Wow.
I didn't date my wife. I asked her straight away to marry me.
You're brave, eh?
It's just one of those things.
So what was going on before then? What you know, this quintessential dating, if you like, it's just that it's been misconstrued. Everyone sees it differently and so on. What is dating then? Now that you're here, I'm going to ask you very many questions. I'm told you have all the answers, so...
Praise God. Well, dating in a nutshell really is a special time to know somebody.
So you didn't take time to know her, you're saying?
I didn't have special occasions to get to know her because we're in the same circle of friends.
It was easier for you.
It was easier for me. Yeah, it was easier for me to get to know her within those circles, and it was until when my heart was I don't know how to put it, until when my heart latched on to her in particular, that I never forget the night I asked her. She said, "I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I asked God for a husband." And I told her the same thing. I'm not looking for a girlfriend. So for us, instantly we kind of like caught it straight away. I gave her the engagement. I asked her officially to get married to me 5 days after that initial special relationship question I gave to her. And 5 days later, she said yes. 9 months later, we were married.
This is deep. So what do you call what you had before then? Because I like to imagine this did not happen all of a sudden. You know, by the time you walked up to somebody and I want to marry you and they say yes. Yeah. Surely there was a build up to that. You know, it kept on. There was a metamorphosis, if you like. You were first friends and then something, whatever you want to call it. Because there should have been something. What was that?
You know, there's the thing. We're in the same circle of friends. We used to hang out together. We used to go do stuff together. And even up until the time when I asked her, actually, I think about 2 weeks before I asked her the first time, I had not really even put my eye on her. And yeah, as in the sense like, even through all our friendship, I had never really zeroed down on her. And I was not even looking, because one of the promises I told God is, Lord, I do not want to date while on campus. I don't want a girlfriend while I'm on the university. I'm not ready for one now, but as soon as I get off, please open my eyes. So I get off university in June, and in about July there, probably end of June, I began to have a conversation. You know, suddenly she's the one I'm calling up. How you doing? And I didn't have the intention at that point to ask her out, but suddenly I found my heart was gelling with her, and I was like, oh God, this is too strong. And I took time and I prayed about it. And literally the night that I asked her, I said, God, I don't want to make a mistake. So if this girl says yes, I am going. Because I told myself I'm going to be a man of my word. And when she said yes, I said, all right. And this is the deal. She knew I was going to be her husband 2 years before I asked her.
Eish. How? Is she psychic or what?
God told her.
God told her.
And this was the beautiful part. She never once made it clear. She made it a point not to show me.
That's a good thing.
And she kept that at a distance. I once got a clue about it, but she made sure that I didn't know for 2 solid years. So that's my story.
Interesting. Look, because you say she did not get to become your girlfriend, she became your fiancée and then your wife.
Yeah.
Tell me something.
But she was my friend who was a girl.
But she was your friend who was a girl. That's totally different. Tell me, and I know you will be honest with me, if the time before you did ask her to marry you, the time you were friends, but you were jailing like you did clearly say, if eventually you discovered she actually was with another boyfriend, would you feel dejected because she was not your girlfriend? You know, let's say 2 days to, or let's say that the time you actually ask her.
Yeah.
You know, and then she says, by the way, I have somebody would you feel like you were stood up?
Let me give you another story. I know of two. There was a couple of other girls that I also did know, and there's one in particular. We're still friends with her, so I can tell the story boldly. I did ask her, and true, I felt strongly, but I did pray as well, and I said, God, if this is not the one, let us say no. And I actually did ask, and she said no, and I didn't have any heart-wrenching tearing out my heart, and then I was running away. No, actually, we walked out of the restaurant, held hands, and crossed the road, and bye, see ya.
After she had said no.
Yeah. I even walked up to the pastor, said, ma'am. She said no. I said, yeah. And the thing that we love was like, at least now you know where you are. So no, because of my background, that experience, I was ready. Whether she said no or yes, I think my heart was ready to go on with a friend. Because at the end of the day, that's who we were. And we're just now looking for an exclusive friendship. That's it.
Wow. All right, let's excogitate over that in the meantime. Andrew is here.
Wagwan.
You are how?
I'm steady.
You are steady?
As usual, you're trying to give me pneumonia with this aircon, but it's okay.
This guy, I don't know which village you come from. You're not used to SC and stuff like that. Power FM changed your story. You're still, Tell me, Andrew, you've heard of people that are dating in their heads.
That's right.
They think that they're in a relationship with somebody, but the other person has no clue whatsoever. They see this fellow as a friend, but as far as this one is concerned, he is in a relationship, and he will tell people about it until later on when, say, hopefully not, but you're introducing this person, and this is my girlfriend, and she's like, say, what? Are you smoking expired weed or what? Do you see people in such situations?
Like not having a clue. It's really hard to believe that a chick, for example, seeing as we are guys, so we'll talk about chicks more, is there and she doesn't know someone likes her more than just.
Yeah, she probably knows, she can see this guy, everything he does, but as far as she's
maybe
concerned,
perhaps she misunderstands and thinks, maybe, we're just friends and things. It happens. It happens a lot. But, okay, it doesn't happen. In my opinion, I don't think it happens a lot. It just happens in situations where the two people, I call it enjoying the benefits of a relationship without the responsibility of the commitment. You get? You can call him and say, hey, I'm hungry. And he comes and brings you fries. Oh man, I'm bored. He says we go for a movie.
Any day time.
I say the man here.
Andrew had suffered.
No. Because you see, for me, some of those things, and that's why people say I'm mean. But I keep telling chicks, you haven't those benefits. Let me be the one to say, by the way, can I buy you lunch? That's right. Okay, because it's my prerogative. But for you, when you start making demands, please know that the guy at worst likes you. Yeah, as in, let me call it at worst, likes you. And if this goes on for a time and you've had conversations about relationships, Christians very rarely like to ask straightforward questions. The things of, so, what do you think of me? And the chick is, you're not a bad guy, whatever. So you think you're making progress. You see? Kumbe, the chick is just giving you an observation. And that's why I keep telling people, and I advise chicks that if you think a guy is going a place that you're not willing to go, man, feel free and ask him and say, you know what, I appreciate the lunch, but do you buy lunch for all your good friends? If the guy says yes, then you can retreat and try a different angle. If the guy says no, it's just you say, you know what is this about? Because guys, I am yet to know guys, even the rich guys who just do for just. Then if you're a guy and you feel you like this chick, take time to, sort of like evaluate your feelings. And if you think it is more than friendship, take some time off. Those that pray, those that do without praying can do. And either way, at worst, like I say, at worst, really, you end up with a friend. This is if the chick is totally a stranger or someone you don't know so well. At worst, you have a friend. If it doesn't work out, really, you lose nothing. I really do not like that scenario of we are not sure what we are. Kind of
things need to be clarified. Do you think, James, that maybe guys, we just are not serious or we misconstrue? Because I'm looking at a guy in such a situation, and look, you might want to hound them for now, but many guys find themselves in that kind of spot. It's an unfortunate one.
Yeah.
But some will think maybe this chap is just not serious, for goodness sake. Why do you imagine things in your head? Why did you not talk to her? And again, the flip side, some will say, these ladies, you know, why does she, like Andrew is saying here, you know, you keep eating his chips and chicken, you keep making his calls, you know, go out with the guy and so on. As far as is concerned, that should, you know, show that you are in some kind of relationship.
That's right.
So which way is it? Should we say that maybe, of course, you know, one would think both sides need to style up, but this being the guys' show, I'm thinking maybe it's just that we guys are not serious, for goodness sake.
Yes and no. And I say one is that they're actually serious, genuinely sending you chips with a pure motive. But no, some are unserious because
he has sent you chips, so he should imagine he's your boyfriend.
Exactly. You know? So in their head, because you're constantly asking for chips and they're getting it for you, for them, they take it, okay, this babe actually likes me and she really wants me to, you know. And it's a misconstrued thing. I was actually speaking to a girl and she said that the challenge with them, girls, I know it's the guy show for now, the challenge with them, the girls, is that any slight insinuation of a liking, their heads begin running. Is this guy qualified to get married to me? Can I get... As they begin asking all these questions in their head. Now, whereas the guy, most of the time he's trying to check out. Now, with the Christian guy, because they can't check out beyond, you know, go to the physical, they will do these small, little, tiny things, of which I think at some point men need to style up and just make up your mind that this is the girl I'm going to go with, and go with the girl. Or make your intentions known from the beginning and say, you know what, I think I really like you. Is it okay if, you know, you and I go down the road?
Deep stuff. I was bantering with a guy the other day and he was telling me, but why is it that men have to always, you know, do the harder part? Some guys enjoy it, other guys dread it. But there you are. We are talking about being alone in a relationship. Unlike some people who are in relationships with nice people, I see Andrew has opened the page here on the computer before me. I see some pulchritudinous ladies. And Andrew, do you want to tell me anything about any of these ladies? Who are these?
I do not know who they are, but...
You're overstaring at them, so surely...
But up here it says it's your account.
Are you kidding me? These are the guys that they see images of people they're in relationships with. But anyway, we're talking about guys especially who find themselves in a relationship in your head, you know. As far as you're concerned, you are dating this lady or you're relating with them. The semantics of these words, you know, that we play around with. Whatever the case might be. But as far as the girl is concerned, she's totally clueless. She sees you as a friend. Only for you, the guy, to get disappointed at some point. Yeah, this is what you're discussing. And if you probably have a question, you want to make a comment, you can shoot that through. The number to call is 0414 34 20 20. Or you could send a text message to 0753 104 104. Have you actually ever found yourself in such a situation? How did you deal with it? How do you get to handle it? How does a guy come out of this? You find that this is what you are in. You are disappointed. How do you move on? Especially, I'm looking at learning from that, Andrew. You realize that, okay, maybe I goofed up here. I should do better. How does a guy move on from that?
I rarely have in such situations, I've always believed that such is the lot of guys in life. Not every guy who is married the first woman he asked out. There are some who are, you know, quite that the first person they dated was, but I think the probability is that she's not the first person he liked. Maybe that she's the first person he asked out. And you deal with it with like everything else. I keep telling guys, I've said on the show before, guys are not allowed to cry. You're allowed 2 tears a year, but from one eye, and not at the same time. Is find what do you do when you have a big disappointment? Because I don't think is it okay, maybe matters of the heart are a bit more complicated, but I keep telling people, find that place where you can take time to mourn if some mourning needs to be done, and then pick yourself up and move forward. You have friends who surround you, talk to them, you know, go and share a meal, figure out where did I go wrong? What did I misread and things like that. And sometimes the process includes actually, because you know, chicks sometimes tell you no, or they say it's over, and they never really tell you why. And every guy who has never had a reason why I actually know guys who are okay, they're not disturbed, but when you ask them, they're like, man, even me, I have no idea what happened. And I think it's just really unfair. But anyway, sometimes the process includes actually talking to this person. You know, if you're still friends after that, because you may want to, you know, the first question you'd ask is why in your head, you know. And me being as I am rather upfront, after a couple of weeks and we can talk about it, I say, why? What's it? I said, well, you're just a friend. You've been friends on. I said, you know, I thought, but I realized this wasn't going somewhere. I said, okay, well, that's fair enough. And you work on the feedback you get both from the people who surround you. If the girl can tell you, that's wonderful. Sometimes you may need to use an insider who might be a friend who is a friend to you. Find out what's up and then move forward. Like a friend called it, consider it a navigational error. When you get lost when you're driving, you reverse, find the main road again, and try afresh somewhere else.
You say you make it seem so easy, and the guys who have had daggers
you see,
run through them, and they're thinking.
You see, that's why I keep saying every guy needs to just grow up, knowing that, you know, at some point,
This is what we are waiting for.
Someone is going to
bite the bullet.
You know, yeah, someone is going to do this to me, and you have let me call it an emergency plan, and it may not go as you plan it, but at least you have at least I found that having a plan, you know. Somebody once said that sometimes guys plan for the no, and are shocked when she says yes, and then they have no plan.
That's
not
good.
But have a plan for what you do, whether it's a yes or and if it's especially if it's a no. But I think for me it is important to recognize that this is something that has hurt you, because some guys have to think, oh, I'm shy, you know, this stuff happens. But the guy actually does not give himself time to mourn and go through, let me call it a healing process. And that is now where issues happen, because it's in that chaos that seeds and all these different crazy things are sown. You get where you have those unresolved issues. Okay, now why did chicks? By the way, actually, all this money I spent, and then that is just an opportunity for the devil to sow something. Before you know it, you're some random guy is like, man, wagwan, and you've seen it. When a guy, you're like, man, which chick broke your heart, or which guy broke your heart? So you need that time to process.
You need the time to process things. James, this is the guy's show, but I'll tell you, majority of our listeners are actually ladies. Much of the feedback we get is usually from ladies. And I'm thinking, what's the role of a lady in helping a guy deal with this? Because the guy finds himself in this situation. He thinks he's dating this girl, he's doing all these things, but the girl is there and thinking, but this guy, I see he picks me, drops me every day, calls me every other day, takes me out twice a week, and so on. I don't quite like him, and yet he's investing not just money, but his emotions especially. How does a lady help this guy avoid a mega heartbreak? Do they run away? Do they talk to the guy? What do they do?
Yeah. I think one of the things that's on the onset is that women, one, you need to know whether, how do I put it? I want to try and make sure that I'm saying it the right way. When a guy seems to get interested in you, and you know for sure this is going nowhere, from the onset, you need to make it clear.
Hello, brother.
I had a scenario. Took this girl out for, as in just like that, you know, one of those days you're like, hey man, let me take you out for coffee, and I had no agenda for dating this babe. As in, I was just taking someone out, a friend. Anyway, somewhere down the road in the coffee, and she's like, James, this coffee thing that we just done today, what's up? Where is this going? I'm like, well, I just thought I'll hang out with you and that's it. I was like, oh, okay. I hope that's it, okay? I was like, yeah. I was like, whoa, okay.
It was a eureka moment.
I'm telling you, I was like, now this is what you need. A girl who doesn't want you to just play around with her emotions. And
someone not that bold, though.
No, not someone not. But they need to be. They need to be that bold. Or you can, through someone, tell someone and say, tell that dude, I'm grateful for the tea and the coffee he's taking me out for, but I am nowhere near interested. And actually, what you need to also do.
I think if you're not telling his, you know how guys have mentors and what, if you're not telling someone senior to him, please don't send your friends to, you get.
Sometimes the friends deliver it a lot better, by the way.
No, if the friend is delivering it out of, you know what, I know you feel my birthday, but I know my birthday.
Yeah.
Thing, if it's the friend's prerogative, it's different. But the thing of man, help me, I can't tell that nigga that stuff isn't working out. That no.
Yeah. But then also to help is, I think the girls need to be able to reach the place where, or the women, girls, women, ladies, need to be in the place where, you know what, I can tell this is the guy I don't want to be with, so I'm not going to go out with coffee. Now, because we're talking of the fact that we are Christians, we need to be able to turn it down and prayerfully seek God's guidance.
All right, let's take a breather. I'll look at your feedback. Keep it coming in. Send a text message to 0753 104 104. Give us your thoughts. When we return from the break, I am giving away something awesome. You want to know what that is, and hopefully you will be the winner. We'll be right back in a bit.
You're listening to Fahrenheit. You're listening to Fahrenheit. Man talk. Talk like men.
Talk like men it is on 104.1 Power FM. Joel Senyonyi here with Andrew and Pastor James Lalobo from Watoto Bweyo Gedede. I'm still trying to get to grips with Watoto Bweyo Gedede, then Watoto Downtown. Since the pastor is here, I can complain. Downtown, why it sounds so local? Anyway.
Odoza tugamba diti.
Watoto Downtown.
Downtown.
Alright, and yes, sir. Say that again.
Downtown.
Could be Diamond Trust.
Okay, that's supposed to encourage us here. And we are talking about guys who are in relationships alone. These relationships are more or less in their heads. You know, they think they're dating this lady or in a relationship with them, and yet the lady has no clue at all. And that goes for many a guy. Very unfortunate when eventually discover, it was a smoke screen of sorts, and there you are for the guy. But perhaps the critical question would be, how do you know that you are in a relationship with somebody? Maybe that would sort you out. I don't know. All right, get in touch with us. The number to call is 0414 34 20 20. You could send a text message to 0753 104 104. I have a bouquet of flowers to give away from Rusadia Florist. A big, awesome bouquet of flowers. You want to win that. How do I give this away? The person who gives me the best response, you think? When do you know that you are in a relationship with somebody? Well, that's an easy one. All right. Call me and tell me what you think that should be. When do you actually know that you are in a relationship with somebody? Yeah, and I like making it easy on myself. I'll not judge who the winner is. My guests will determine that. Because I don't want people hating me. So you guys will decide who. And the winners, by the way, are those that will call. Keep the text messages coming in. We'll read those. But the one to win the bouquet of flowers is the one who calls. Yeah. When do you know? When does somebody know they are in a relationship with somebody? The number to call is 0414 34 20 20. And the best response, you'll get a bouquet of flowers, and you'll put it in your house, or you'll give it away to somebody, or you'll eat it. I don't know, whatever the case might be. Somebody says, I thought I was the only one who doesn't believe in dating. It's about having many girls who are friends. Amen. Joel, only this is Yosa. Yosa, what's wrong with your problem? Okay, I have heard. All right, somebody. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
All right, thanks. What's your name?
I'm called Emmanuel Ruhweza Mukidi.
Emmanuel Ruhweza Mukidi.
Yes.
Tell me.
I think I got to know, like, I was in a relationship when we realized that actually there was a connection between each other.
When you realized that there was a connection?
When I realized that there was a connection, and she realized, and then we confessed to each other that we are feeling for each other. That's when we realized actually we're getting into a relationship.
You confessed your sins to each other?
Yes, you confess both of you, your friends, and then you balance out.
Thing? No.
Andrew asks, are you guys still dating? There's your response. You know him. Emma Bambi, sorry. What happened to the connection, Emma?
But he has a connection.
Now we can't give you flowers. Sorry.
He might use them to find another connection.
The question was, how do you know in a relationship? Not if you're dating.
Yeah, but Musumba seems
But you
biased.
can't be in a relationship.
You know this Emma here. You can't be what?
You, as in dating, how do you know you're
No. The question is, how does one know? That's why I actually had to alter it.
I thought you know you're in a relationship when you ask and she says yes.
I don't know.
What
people
is
think,
this?
people think otherwise. You'll be surprised.
What is a relationship?
That's another one. There you are.
Those are pastoral questions which are just designed to confuse people, but everybody knows. Well, besides the father, brother, sister, uncle, those other what are they called? Those other family related what. But we're talking here about dating or.
There you are. You call me and tell me what you think. Andrew just told you what he thinks. 0414 34 20 20 is the number to call. And if you have an awesome response, you just might walk away with this awesome bouquet of flowers from Rusadia Florists. Somebody here says, it's a matter of time. That spark slowly goes away. I was dumped by my longtime girlfriend. She kept on picking. Yet never called. It took about 2 weeks till she told me that we were done 2 weeks ago. But I just like, but this, the way we write things here, like we speak colloquially. Somebody say, they go ahead to say, but I just like you as a friend now. I broke big time, but thought of her worst ways and hated her. Then I moved on. Jesus. Okay, to some people, this is the way they easily move on. They remember all the bad things about her, and then hatred creeps in, and then they move on easily. You know, I see Musumba shaking his head.
No, that guy needs to actually forgive that girl and let go. Yeah, it maybe however painful it is, any bit of anger or bitterness that you keep inside of you, eventually will creep out one day, and you will not like it.
There you are. You move forward, as Robin said, you find a better one. This is somebody called Olive. All right. I like that people say moving on, as if it is like moving out of this studio. But anyway, eventually you do somehow, yeah? All right. He was a friend and very caring, and him telling me was a big shock, and I had no shock absorber. So I said a terrible no. We, however, remained friends, and now I'm willing to say yes, but he ain't saying anything. Busy with just, this is Flash.
Suffer locally.
I'm sure this is not our Flash.
I suspect it is, but Flash.
It's a different number.
Flash. You know, anyway.
Did you get that message? She was in shock. This guy told her he likes her, whatever the case might be. She was in shock, said no. Now she wants him to say yes, but what?
I think stop saying nothing. No, say maybe. Give me time.
But ladies, you need to know what you want, surely. You know, because oftentimes when you tell a guy, no, I don't want, and you know, if he's a serious, proper guy, he'll move on with his life. So if you are there dilly-dallying,
you know what, Joel? I think also the guys need to be able to, especially when you've been in a relationship where it's been really friendly and very good, you need to be able to try and gauge where is she at in terms of this. So that if you realize, okay, she might not be thinking this direction, you need to be able to ask questions that are leading to find out where their mind is, so that even when you ever pop it up, they would have actually thought about it at some point. You don't just wake up one morning and just say, hey, what's up? But you need to have questions that are leading, that help you understand where the person's mind is.
Okay.
So you don't just jump in there and they tell you a huge no, and then you're suddenly like, man, this chick dumped me. No. That calls for wisdom.
By the way, many a married guy will tell you, if I said no and said no again and said no again, but I hadn't, I don't know. Some guys are brave enough. Yep. I want to change this question that I am asking to give away flowers. Maybe it seems too obtrusive of how do you know you are in a relationship? For goodness sake, you tell the person or you agree with that kind of thing, yeah? Perhaps I should ask, after a guy realizes this, they've got to find a way of moving on through the heartbreak and so on. How do you do that? What do you do? You realize that the person you thought you were dating, on their part, they were not in a relationship with you. You've got to move on. How does a guy do that? How do you do that? All right. So give me your thoughts about that, and the best response will get this bouquet of flowers. I'm sure that's easier, or is it clearer, if you like? You know, how does a guy move on? I don't know. You might tell me, read the Bible cover to cover in 2 days and you'll be healed, or go to Prayer Mountain, or
read the Bible.
I don't know. Give me those responses. The bouquet winner is the one that calls. So call 0414 34 20 20. Tell me, how does a guy move on after realizing that the perceived relationship actually was non-existent? Hi, my dears. I'm not a flowers person, so I will not win. If it was chocolate, I would try. A girl can go out without any intentions of dating or having a relationship. If a guy doesn't make it clear, why should we read your mind? You're the guy. So guys, style up. Be clear, man. Angelina, and don't blame us for your heartbreaks.
That's true. I support you, Angelina. We need to be clear.
All right, there you are. But I agree the bit about being clear,
We need
because
to be clear.
sometimes, guys, you're there, you're throwing things all over the place, you're throwing hints. Ladies roll. Somebody else says, cause the guy to say what okay, now I get it. They say that the ladies role is cause the guy to say what exactly he wants. Most times these guys call and do stuff and they just avoid saying the real thing, simply because they fear rejection. So you give them time to decide what exactly they want while studying them and ask them what exactly they want. This person seems to say that the ladies should help the guys. Is that such a bad thing?
Personally, I
Or are we breeding sissies in men?
No. Personally, I think there's a part ladies play. Of course, you're not going to put up halogen lights and LED signs, pointing to your house or to your room or something like that. But I think, like anything else, guys always probe. And if they see there is no response, and that's why I say it's confusing. I take you for coffee, I take you for movies, I take you. This, of course, does mix signals. The guy may be saying, this is me trying to let you know, by the way, of all the girls out there, I'm willing to spend 10K on a Monday to take you to, to cinema. You
10K.
see, I don't take.
The other day I had chicks complaining, Musimanya, he just bought me a gift of, is it 25K or something?
Those ones should just
Thieves.
go and repent.
So,
Anyway. That is up to them, but you do see, you can't tell. I never believe that chicks are that bleak. There are some, but really a bigger percentage of them are there, and this is a guy trying to figure out what is there. And I know friends who are a little bit forward, and you'll know clearly that they like you, while others, maybe the dating game is something they're not experienced in, so to speak. Dating game in quotes, before I get lambasted for calling it a game. And they're a little bit bleak. They think maybe you're just being a good friend, Some brave ones will go out of their way and say, by the, whatever the question, the answer is yes. Will you wash my clothes?
Yes.
But there's some who are a little bit more overt. But I think there is a role to play. Seeing as I'm not a woman, I can't tell you what that role is. But I know when a chick is being positive towards my overtures, and I know when a chick is just being bleak. Sometimes you may choose to ignore because maybe the chick has really knocked you off your feet. But there's a little bit of, I don't think you just be there casting your bread to the random waters, so to speak.
All right, but why do I think the questions that I keep changing are hard ones? I do not want to keep this bouquet of flowers. You see, it's not good for me to give away to a certain lady out there something that I have not earned. Because if I remain with this bouquet of flowers, I just might give it away to somebody. All right, let me make it simple for you. Just call me and tell me why I should give you this bouquet of flowers. Tell me, I want to give it to my mother. I love her. I miss her. I don't know, my girlfriend or whatever the case might be. Just call and tell me why you think I should give you this bouquet of flowers. 0414 34 20 20. You just might be the one. Alex here says it's hard to move on, but you can avoid her for a while because you staying around will just be hurting them more. Plus, let her know, so that she would understand your rareness. This is Alex. Moving on, Pastor, is one of those convoluted things. Especially, for example, you find that this person is around you. You go to the same church, the same fellowship, the same cell. You are in the same class if you're at the university. And if you're in first year, you have 2 more years to go. That's if you don't have retakes, because that means like 5 years. So you cannot avoid this person. And it's harder. How does a guy move on?
That's a good question. This is what I can say. Is one, coming to terms with it is very critical. And coming to terms with it means you need to accept the fact that this person is not ready for you and wasn't ready for you to be their exclusive friend. And you need to accept that you know what, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And this is one of those times where you have lost. And when you accept that in your head and don't live in denial, the challenge is most people is they live in denial, and and because of that, they end up in what do you call it, withdrawal syndromes, and bitterness and anger, and then suddenly they're fearful. But when you confront it and accept it, then I'm very sure that you can even be able to approach this person again and say, hey man, thanks for letting me know the truth, and can we continue being friends? And that's it. That's a starting point for me. And needless to say, we ought to pray. And God will heal our hearts. I mean, the Bible says God is the healer of the brokenhearted. So one, you accept it, but two, you need to pray that God heals your heart. And that has to happen. Then have someone with whom you're accountable to, who will help you in that journey. Someone, like you said, a little older than you, whom you can walk with.
All right. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name, Chief?
Yes, Pastor. Good evening.
The pastor says good evening. Stop baptizing me, Pastor.
My name is Isaac from what is the church north.
What's your name again?
Seriously, I'm as well going through actually the same experience. But I've just learned that life has to keep going on. For you to realize that life has to keep going on, you end up messing up with life. Now, what I've done is that
Sorry, I'm sure that's not what you have done. But try again, try again. The number to call is 0414.
But I can pick up, as Isaac called, I think I like what he's saying. You need to realize that life has to go. You have to go on.
Certainly.
You can't stay in the same place. I know of guys who have remained in the same place and they're literally almost worshipping this girl so that they can, walk out with them. Now, you may really like somebody, but if someone has said no, I think we need to respect people's no's or people's yeses. And that means the girl's no must be a no.
I like the one of respecting people's yeses.
Oh,
So when she
yeah.
says yes, there's no refusing. Good evening.
Good evening, Joel.
What's your name, Chief?
Young James.
Eyangu James. Tell me.
Sorry, I've joined the show a bit late.
That's all right.
But I would like to understand, are we talking about moving on?
That too.
Okay. About moving on, well, it deeply depends on what your expectation was or how you got into this relationship. For example, if you got into this relationship and you defined your criteria, your expectations, and everything about it, and along the way you feel your partner is falling short of that, then it is still very easy to discuss a way out and say, okay, my friend, I know I've been very much interested in this relationship, and you two have been very much interested in this relationship. But because of what it has become, I think we need to go separate ways. Yeah, and of course, breaking up, we don't do that on phone. You don't send a text message to say, hey, I think it's now over between us. But you can come to a round table and discuss it out. And it's one good thing to assure the other that there can easily be a chance, maybe in the near future, that you can connect again. But for now, you have to let go things. And then for you now dealing with this breakup, you need to know to yourself that you are not the first person on earth to ever have a relationship come to an end. Yeah. So you console yourself, and you have to keep the right company next to you, so that they'll help you cope up very much and very fast with the recovery. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. And then what was the other?
Let's take those. Thanks a bunch for your thoughts, James.
All right, thank you so much too. And then the other thing, Papa, if I get that flower, that bouquet, this year I've decided I have to celebrate also with my special someone. That you understand?
Okay. Okay, thanks a bunch, James. There you are. I saw you, Musumba, shake your head at some point. Were you in agreement, in disagreement?
No, it's just when he said the point of saying for now it won't work out, maybe in the future it will. Let it be a no. Let's not keep threads of hope, because life takes us in totally different journeys. And I know that's what some people say, maybe later on in life. So what if I came back later on in life and again you said no? I think best, you know what, I'm not into this now, and I don't know. And just keep it simple as a no, and don't try and keep certain yeses in the no. Let it just be a plain no. Now look, no, let's just stick friends, but I'm not into relating and dating right now.
But there has to be the realization that indeed something could happen. Not that tell the guy you not wait and we see. No, is that you like you said, so many things happen in life. You may say a no now.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 years later we meet each other, God knows where, and
which has happened.
Yeah. So I think
But don't be changed.
Let your no be no, but don't tell a brother to wait and keep him there just as a plan B in case your plan A also does not ask.
Somebody sends a long message here. You people know. Some guy was really hitting on me and he wasn't the type who was going to give up. Then when I brought him to say exactly what he wants, I told him I was already in a relationship and he said, thank you for telling me. I actually had 3 people on my mind who I was really attracted to, but I could not choose. So I can never be sure of a guy who calls all the time and does all those things thinking of just you.
What's wrong with someone thinking about you when they want to relate with you?
Well, this guy apparently he had, but why do I imagine he was just consoling himself? When the chick said no, apparently he was like, don't worry, you're just one of the other of the 3 that I had in mind, and so I was trying to make up. So now you have been eliminated. I don't know. Somebody else here says, some chicks are just so sweet. You know that they would give you the wrong impression. At times, guys are misled. You should just keep around ladies that are your friends, and then maybe you try to get that feeling that every sweet girl doesn't necessarily have the feelings for you. Hey.
That's interesting.
Blame girls for being themselves. You stop misinterpreting their sweetness no more. Really.
So do you tell her that stop being too sweet or something?
No, you can't say that some girls are too sweet. I had no choice. It's clear how you feel for them. The girl is being herself. Why were you misconstruing her sweetness?
Okay, there you are. Somebody here says, please give the James those flowers. I don't know. Give me your final thoughts, guys. Our time is nearly up. Mzumba.
Final thoughts on the night? Well, Proverbs tells us something very interesting. Proverbs chapter 4, I think down around verse 20 something. It says, guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. And I think we need to learn to guard our hearts and not let ourselves get caught up in what is not real. I mean, why should you allow your heart to dwindle away into a relationship which is not? And so I think you need to guard what goes inside your heart. And because at the end of the day, it is you who will actually have to struggle with life. You know, it's actually Proverbs 4:23 says, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it spring the issues of life. So my challenge for you tonight is, don't walk in the assumption of a relationship. Open up to this person. Find out where they are. If it is a no, thank God. If it is a yes, thank God. Whichever way. So I would challenge you that the sooner you find out your place in this person's life, the better for you. Otherwise, if you keep rolling down this road, you get so entangled and so deep into this thing, and getting out of it becomes more painful. And so I'll challenge. And so I'll speak to the men. You must know what you're looking for in the girl, and go and make sure you ask. Don't assume that because you've taken them for one movie thing and another this and another this, automatically they are yours. No. Let's not assume that. But 2, to the lady who is listening, don't just accept every opportunity that comes from the same guy. You need to know right away and like, okay, this guy is taking me out on too many things. What is he up to? Ask. There's nothing wrong with you finding out where is this thing going.
It's not evil.
It's not evil. It's not like you're proposing or trying to push the guy, but you need to guard your heart as well. And like, look, man, I don't want to just keep going in something and eventually I don't know where it's going. So I think that's my advice for them.
Awesome. And finally, Andrew. That is okay. Our time is up.
This landscape is very complicated, but since our time is up, I will summarize by saying, give James those flowers.
Thank you very much. I'm here. My name is James.
This is James Lalobo.
No, the James who called in.
But there was Emma.
There was Emma.
The one who
knows you.
The one who knows me.
So you're biased.
No. Emma answered your question.
I asked many questions.
No, he answered the question how he knew he was in a relationship.
Hey, guys, who takes the flowers?
I vote
Please
for
decide.
James.
I need to get out of here.
I vote for James.
And who do you... Musumba, how do we give the flowers to?
I've got in the catch-22.
Panange, Musumba, decide. You've just told the guys to be decisive.
No, when it comes to girls, not when it comes to flowers.
This is tight. James Yangu, you will come for these flowers. Come for them on Friday 13th. Working hours at Power FM. All right, thanks so much, guys. That's our show for tonight. So long, everybody.